Good afternoon once again. Dave Watts with you, and Experts on Call continues with some of the best ways to give new life and functionality to your kitchen or bathroom. Middle of September already. Don't know where the time's gone. Reno's certainly on the go, and this is going to be great information to know. We're pleased to have two more of the top designers from LaurysenKitchens with us this hour. Certainly, LaurysenKitchens, no strangers to CFRA. So this time around, we welcome Kristen Weiss. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you this afternoon?
Good, thank you.
Now, joining Kristen, of course, we're pleased to welcome Victoria Priest. Hi, Victoria.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's going to be a great chat for sure. Great information forthcoming. Now, before we do get into it, though, LaurysenKitchens picked up awards at the Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association Design Awards last year, and you've got more nominations this year, so things are looking great. Congrats again on that. So Kristen and Victoria, going to throw it out to both of you. Let's start at the beginning and take a look at the importance of specially trained designers, particularly for kitchen and bath applications.
Talking about the specialty trained designers, it's definitely something you want to consider when doing a major renovation or addition. We can really help guide you through this process and save you a lot of headache and hardship over your project. There's definitely a lot of moving parts, so helping you navigate that as best as we can.
Now, let's take a look at some of the history of LaurysenKitchens. You've got a long and colorful history in the Ottawa area, thousands of happy customers. Let's talk about some of the background of the company and its basic mission.
Yeah, first and foremost, Laurysen is a family business. It was our founders are John and Audrey Laurysen, and they first opened in 1970 in a small garage of just 1,200 square feet. And we've since expanded to a full office and large fabrication plant of 55,000 square feet and close to 150 employees in Stittsville. So currently, John and Audrey's children, Bill and Carlene, have stepped into the roles of COO and CEO in the mid-90s, and Bill's sons, Corey and Michael, are currently active in the business as well as VPs. So very much a family business and rich in the Ottawa area.
Absolutely. Now, certainly Laurysen's growth continues to move along quite nicely. It's a solid dealer network right across the province of Ontario. How can those listening here on CFRA and certainly across the province on iHeartRadio locate a dealer retailer?
Yeah, so you can definitely hop onto our website and that'll give you more information about that. So we have dealers throughout Ontario, and we're slowly expanding into northern New York and Michigan as well. Keep in mind, these are not Laurysen locations, but retailers who sell our product.
So then customers wanting products from LaurysenKitchens would go through a particular dealer in their area, and then the dealer would contact Laurysen as applicable to get things done.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. They would be a secondary office that would meet with us that would then be connected through to us again afterwards to supply the product.
Now, I understand that Laurysen, your expansion includes a new showroom in the Colonnade Road area. What can either of you tell me about that so far?
We've got a great big design experience center opening on Colonnade. It's going to be open early 2025 at this moment. It's got over a dozen large kitchen displays, several vanities, closets, laundry room, a whole sample selection room, and designers ready and willing to help.
All right. Now, you also have a new factory headquarters coming up near the end of the year. Any date at this point for an official opening? And will the showroom in Carp still be open?
The showroom in Carp will no longer be open. We'll be moving our primary headquarters to Carleton Place at that time, where all of our manufacturing will be. We're currently set for the end of this year, 2024. We don't have a set date. We're going to be kind of doing a phased move and moving our production as it gets up and running to the new building, just to make sure we have a seamless transition, to make sure our customers in the meantime are still well serviced. But that's our plan. We'll be this end of this year and early next year are going to be very exciting for moving.
Well, that sounds great. Now, your customers can certainly trust LaurysenKitchens with every project. You've got Better Business Bureau and Renomark awards, a proof of quality craftsmanship and great customer service. And I think that's been the testament to your success is the customer service and follow-up. Let's talk about some of the Laurysen awards that you folks have picked up recently. Things like the NKBA Design Awards 2024, the House Awards, and of course, GOBA, the Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association Awards, plus some personal awards as well.
Yeah, so I actually was so blessed to win 2 NKBA awards this past season, this past spring. It always just is so nice to have the recognition to the whole Laurysen team, right? It's not just the designer. It's it really trickles through to the scheduling, the production, the shipping, the installers, everyone. It's really a team win, and we're always just so honored when we get nominated and ultimately win these awards. It's just so reassuring that we're doing the right thing and people are appreciative of it and our designs are looking good.
Laurysen also has 13 nominations for this year's GOBA Awards. That's the Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association. And we're going to be looking forward to those awards coming up in November, I believe it is. Let's talk about the dream of a lifetime and community service. Laurysen's certainly a proud sponsor of the 2024 CHEO Dream of a Lifetime. Let's take a look at Laurysen's long history with CHEO and the Dream of a Lifetime.
Yes, so we've been in sponsorship and partnership almost with Minto, helping create the Minto CHEO Dream of a Lifetime home many years in a row now. We're just always so happy to partner for such a great cause. It's always just such fun designs too, right? Such creative, out of the box things that aren't typically, I guess, our bread and butter. It's just so fun to do something a little bit different. So it's actually just all been installed and we're looking forward to seeing the outcome of this year's, but the little snippets that we've seen so far are looking excellent.
Oh, that sounds terrific. We're going to take a quick break on News Talk 580 CFRA. Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest, they're designers with LaurysenKitchens, our guests this hour, and the website, LaurysenKitchens.com. Experts on call, back in a moment on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Welcome back. As your kitchen rental planning continues into the fall, our guests are ready to get you rolling with some great design work from a trusted Ottawa area business. Now we're chatting with Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest from LaurysenKitchens. Just want to remind you that the Laurysen website is a great information resource to assist in your rental planning. You can bookmark LaurysenKitchens.com and check it out anytime. Now, Kristen, let's start off with a look at the Laurysen Edge.
The Laurysen Edge, I would first off like to say that we are CKCA certified business, so a Canadian Kitchen Cabinet Association. We produce roughly 60 to 80 kitchens a week, and we have 10 plus designers who are on standby ready to help you. We're just a phone call, email, or a trip to our showroom away. I'd also like to say that we are proudly Canadian. So from fabrication, shipment, and installations of custom cabinetry, that's all sourced locally for the most part. We have direct manufacturer pricing, so you don't have any third-party people involved that are marking up our product. We have over 100 awards received to date for design and customer service. And all that being said, we are expanding our business and opening up a new showroom, actually 2 new showrooms and 1 new manufacturing plant.
And one of the nice things about LaurysenKitchens, it's very environmentally responsible. You folks have processes that are eco-friendly throughout.
Correct. Yeah. So we have water-based stains and paints. That also is better for our employees as well who are spraying the cabinetry. Most stuff is sourced locally to help reduce that carbon footprint. And throughout the design process, we try and keep it as paperless as possible.
Now, let's talk about the Laurysen showroom, Victoria. What can customers expect to see when they walk through the door at your Carp Road location, soon to be in Carleton Place? But let's say Carp Road to start.
Yes, when they walk into our Carp Road location, they will be greeted by our lovely daytime receptionist, Jody. She's always so friendly and happy to help. If you're just coming through to browse, you're more than welcome to come in and have a look through everything. We do have designers on duty that are able to come and answer some questions. So she can kind of give you her 10-cent tour and show you around what you're looking for. And then if you have further questions or want to set up an appointment, then we can bring out a designer and welcome you to the showroom as well and give you kind of a few quick talking points and then get that appointment scheduled so we can have a really in-depth meeting about what you're looking for.
Now, you mentioned before that with the new showroom coming up in early 2025 in Carleton Place, I believe you said, the Carp Road showroom will close. Am I correct in that?
You are, yes. Our Carp Road location will be closing, which is a little bit bittersweet because we are moving to nicer, bigger places, but it has been the home base of Laurysen forever. That was the original Laurysen family home, and it'll be a little bittersweet to leave that location, but onward and upwards to our new Carleton Place manufacturing facility and Colonnade showroom.
Perfect. Well, that sounds terrific. Let's take a look at some of the trends and issues in your industry these days, Kristen. I suspect things are changing quickly, but I'll tell you what, the beauty of the cabinetry, the beauty of your work will stand the test of time. Let's talk about some trends and issues.
Yeah, so right now we're seeing a lot of warmer wood tones coming back in. Ottawa's a little bit conservative and was leaning more towards all white kitchens or gray finishes, but it's nice to sort of see those wood textures and wood tones coming back into play. I find the designs themselves are getting a little bit more visually interesting. We're not just doing white kitchens on repeat. We're also seeing lots of greens and darker tones as well if we are looking for that painted MDF finish.
Having something a little bit more interesting, like Kristen's saying, not just the white shaker cabinets on repeat. People seem to be a little bit more willing to do a pop of color, a mixture of uppers and lowers, and sometimes even 3 color tones throughout the kitchen. It's just getting a lot more exciting, and people seem to be stepping out of the box of what's possible in kitchens, and we are very much here for it.
With kitchen and bath renos in particular, I guess it's important for the customer to determine paint versus polyester. What are some of the pros and cons?
Victoria has got a great paint explanation. I would love to hear her say that.
Well, I did steal it from our CEO, Carlene. So she likes to say that it is paint. It's not car lacquer on the cabinets. It's well-applied paint in multiple layers, sanded in between, a beautiful top coat, but it is not the most durable thing that you can put in your kitchen. When you think of your walls and you wash them over the years, they kind of get smudgy looking. They're easier to chip. The big pro to it is there is little touch-up kits. We can provide like a little nail polish bottle almost that you can just dab and repair that really nice and easily. The beauty of polyester and why it has kind of taken our industry by storm, it is just so much more durable. It is like a plastic fabric wrapped around an MDF core, and that solid top layer just makes cleaning a dream. It gives you that solid color in multiple different door styles. The big con that I find of the polyester is if you were to in 10 years accidentally swing a pot and take a chunk out of your cabinet, we can't fix the door. It would be a replacement at that point. So that's usually the conversation point when I'm having with customers is how gentle are you going to be with your cabinets? Do we need paint or do we need polyester, and what that's going to look like for both those options?
Marble is a popular countertop these days, and are there things that must be taken into consideration in the planning and construction phase using marble as a countertop?
Marble is definitely a tricky one. It's a very porous stone, which means that it will stain easily. So you're going to have to be a person that likes sort of that that aged look with the staining and the patina and everything with the marble. There are lots of quartz lookalikes these days that will replicate that without having that staining and that delicacy of the stone.
All right. Now let's take a look at getting the process underway. A customer comes in. They say, we have to make some changes, or perhaps they phone or maybe contact you online. We have to make some changes in our kitchen and or our bathroom. We don't know where to start. What is the first thing a customer should do? And I suspect it's all part of the Laurysen process. Let's dig into that for a bit.
It very much is. The first step really is just reach out to us, contact us. We've got a lead form on the website that automatically connects you through to a designer. You'd be assigned to a designer. Same with a phone call or a walk-in. You can come visit us in the showroom and you'll be connected with the designer. And from there, we would have what we call our initial consult. So we would really get down into what is it that you're looking for? Do you want a whole new renovation? Do you want to just spruce up a couple little parts? We kind of get the scope of work, and then we get into the selections, the fun part of what do we want this to look like? And so we always ask for some very rough dimensions. Bring us some dimensions. Some pictures of the space are fantastic. The any inspiration pictures. And the one that people typically forget is, what's your appliances? Are you keeping them? Are you changing them? What's your dream for that? Because those do play a big part in our space planning and what we need to account.
I guess then following that, the in-home measuring process begins to keep the ball rolling.
Yes. Yeah. The check measure is definitely the most important. I always say that you want me to come measure because if something goes wrong, it's my fault and not yours. Not that it happens. But yeah, we get through all of the design phase. It's all looking good. And you say, yes, we really want this Laurysen kitchen. You've got some rough numbers of where we're standing. We would come out to the house and we would double check all those measurements, make sure it's fitting exactly the way that we're planned it, or make some little tweaks if need be. And then we get into the signing of the contract, the placing the order, and we start building your cabinets. All of the cabinets are built specifically for you. We don't have any prefabricated sitting ready to go cabinets. They are made specifically for you. So that's really exciting and allows us quite a bit of flexibility in the design.
Now, how long would the process take from that initial walk-in or that initial phone call right through to delivery and installation? I guess it really depends on what's involved in that particular project.
It really solely depends also on the client themselves and how decisive they are, how well they know what they want or what they don't want. We're about 8 weeks from the time we place the order. So that's after we've measured and after we collect a deposit and the order is placed. We're 8 weeks from then to delivery and install. But that sort of timeline before for the design process really fluctuates depending on the person's needs.
Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest are our guests this hour, designers with LaurysenKitchens. The website, LaurysenKitchens.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll get back to our conversation in just a moment on Experts on Call on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Good afternoon once again. If you're just joining us, great conversation, particularly if you're involved with those renos in your home these days. We're talking about kitchen renos. We're talking about Laurysen Kitchens, and we've got two of the best with us this afternoon in our conversation. They're designers Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest. And just before we jump back into our conversation, a reminder that the showroom is open at 2415 Carp Road in Stittsville. And don't forget the website to check out anytime at LaurysenKitchens.com. All right, guys, so let's get back at it again. Victoria, let's talk about kitchens specifically, and how does Laurysen make kitchens that sizzle?
Kitchens that sizzle. I love that that's still a term that's going around as our original motto. I think the thing that makes LaurysenKitchens really sizzle is the personalized experience and the involvement of the designer, the thorough walkthrough that you get of what to expect. And then something that I don't think is really talked about enough is everything that happens after that initial design phase, through to the service that you get from our scheduling department. And then our installers are just excellent, experienced, qualified, thorough gentlemen. They're really a really excellent team of installers that we have. But our big thing that I like to highlight is our after sales service. So we have a sales manager who comes through and fine-tooth combs the kitchen and makes sure it is 100% what we agreed upon. All those doors and drawers, everything is working just perfectly. And if there is a little hiccup, he's the one to get that fixed up for us just as fast as we possibly can.
Let's talk about some of the trends in kitchen design these days.
Yeah, so as mentioned, we have a lot of those textures coming back, like the wood textures with the warmer tones. We're also seeing a lot of texturized glass too. So we've got reeded glass, which is narrow, almost, I don't know, Victoria, how would you describe that?
It's got
glass?
A very nice linear pattern to it. It just adds a little bit more texture to the room without being in your face. Wow.
Right. Yeah. We're also seeing a lot of metal frame doors. With the metal frames, we're able to actually do a taller door, whereas with the wood doors, we might see some warping. So that's something we're seeing today. And we're also seeing cabinets that are loaded with accessories. So long are the days when people just have empty cabinets. We're seeing almost accessories in every single cabinet. So we've got garbage pullouts, cutlery trays, corner units, mixer shelves that come up so you're not lugging around that big mixer, cabinets that lift out of the uppers, spice pullouts, all kinds of crazy stuff.
What are some of the common problems encountered when designing or installing a new kitchen cabinetry?
It may sound a little silly, but too many options. Too many options is definitely a problem that people encounter. But that is definitely a pro to coming to Laurysen, is you get a designer who can help you cross off several of those options right off the bat. If we're kind of talking about a certain look that we're wanting, then we walk into the showroom with a clearer expectation of what we're looking for and can really help narrow that down so much faster.
All right. Once a plan has been agreed to, can last-minute changes or modifications be made before installation?
Can we say this one together, Kristen? 1, 2, 3.
No,
you cannot.
This is why we don't rush the design process. So everything is thought out, is detailed out, is planned for a reason. When we start to change one little thing here or there, you might think it's a simple thing, but it actually has a ripple effect. And it makes room for error, if you can say that. Having late changes is never a good idea. Having the plan all done at the beginning makes sure that everyone is on the same page and knows what's going on.
One of the key aspects of getting the job done properly is the list of services from an association with some great partners. Let's touch on that, the importance of your partners.
Yeah, we really could not do what we do without our industry partners, from our suppliers, from our countertop manufacturers. It takes a whole team to build it, and that definitely expands out past the Laurysen door and past our threshold. That there's lots of more people involved in this than initially you would realize, but it definitely takes a team to make the dream come true.
All right. Now, let's talk about closets. Closets by Laurysen. Everybody needs to store their stuff somewhere, and if getting organized is on your list, then maybe a new closet is in order. So let's talk about closets by Laurysen.
I would say one of the things that a customer should be prepared to do when doing a closet renovation or having a new closet installed is get ready to get personal. Closets are some of our most personal spaces. So we're going to be wanting to know how many items of clothing you have that are this length, how many shoes you have to go on these shelves. Like, we really need to tailor it to what you have in your closet. So yeah.
If I'm curious, if say a homeowner's wants to add a closet in a space where there hasn't been a closet before, maybe a small room or something, and make a walk-in closet, whatever. Can they take a picture of it, perhaps on a phone, phone photo, and email it to you? Or is it a good idea to have someone come out to the house and take a look at the space?
Great idea.
Yeah, photos are great. With some rough dimensions is always key. It saves us a trip out, and it saves you having to be home for that meeting. If you were to just come to our showroom or even fill out, we have a lead board on our website that you can actually fill out with your project details and some photos. And that gets filtered right into one of us, and you should receive a phone call about 24 to 48 hours after doing that.
There's always frequently asked questions about the process, how it works, and how a great kitchen can be installed. Let's talk about purchasing to begin with. How can I purchase my kitchen direct from your manufacturer?
So we are the manufacturer, so come straight to us. We can help with that. That's one of the amazing things about Laurysen is we are built right in CARP currently, soon to be Carleton Place. So we are an Ottawa local manufacturer. We are actually building all these cabinets right for you in Ottawa. It is a local family-owned business.
Now, I have Laurysen cabinets, but I need replacement parts. How do I order them?
So if you need some replacement parts, depending on what the parts are, I encourage you to call our showroom and we can better direct you. Let's say if you need a replacement door, we can help you with that right away. You need a replacement hinge. Sometimes we have those hinges on hand, or sometimes we would need to reach out to that manufacturer specifically to get those for you. But always a great idea to give us a call and we can help you.
LaurysenKitchens has a tremendous amount of timely info online. Always recommended to take a few minutes and check it out. Now, that info includes a lot of downloadable resources as well, like a planning guide and a checklist. Let's look into the website just a little deeper.
Yes, we've tried to make it really nice and simple to make the customer as informed as possible. So it really walks you through what you're going to expect, the kind of things we're going to be asking. They are excellent if you've reviewed those prior to meeting with your designer. It really makes the whole process a little bit quicker and smoother. But don't feel pressure that you have to fill out the whole 6-page long document. We will be asking those anyways and going through it all with you. But it really does get the wheels turning it is quite an involved process, and we will be asking lots of questions, and it kind of gives you a peek into what those will be.
Absolutely. Now, for those just joining our conversation this hour, let's review once again, where do I start when thinking of designing my kitchen or bathroom space? Where's the best place to start?
Give us a shout. We are happy to help either through our website, LaurysenKitchens.com. Our office is always happy to take your phone call, or if you want to come visit us, we've got a very welcoming receptionist who will be happy to have you into the showroom. We'll kind of set you up with a designer and get the process going for you, get you some rough numbers, a design laid out, and from there we can get into the manufacturing and get you a new kitchen. Okay,
one more question here just before the break. How do I prepare for installation? Does Laurysen install kitchens?
So we will install our cabinetry, but you will need to hire a contractor, an electrician, an HVAC technician, a plumber, all of those wonderful professionals to help assist with that kitchen renovation. If you're moving your fridge, you'll need to move your outlet. If you're moving your sink, you need to move your plumbing. So we'll need someone else to have your space ready when we come to install the cabinets.
Experts on call on News Talk 580 CFRA. This hour, we're talking about your next new kitchen, a Laurysen kitchen. Now, our guests this hour, Kristen and Victoria Priest, they're designers with LaurysenKitchens, and we'll get back to Kristen and Victoria in just a sec. An invitation to drop into the LaurysenKitchens showroom at 2415 Carp Road in Stittsville and talk to a designer and tell them what you have in mind and let them give you some ideas. Works hand in hand. And as you just heard, the website is a great resource, LaurysenKitchens.com. Back in a moment on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Ask questions.
Get answers.
This is Experts on Call.
On News Talk 580 CFRA.
Our guests this hour, Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest, designers with Laurysen Kitchens, quality Laurysen Kitchens cabinetry. Your kitchen is going to take on a whole new life. Just before we get back into our conversation, a reminder that the showroom address is 2415 Carp Road in Stittsville, and the website, LaurysenKitchens.com. Victoria, let's talk about some of those questions again, some of those frequently asked questions. For example, bringing a drawing. We've touched on this before, but I think it's worth repeating. Bringing a drawing or a photo, that's certainly a great idea to get the process started.
Yeah. So once you're connected with a designer, either through submitting a lead request on our website, giving us a phone call, or even dropping into our showroom, your designer is going to ask you a few important things. And that would be to bring some rough dimensions, some pictures, some inspiration pictures, your appliances, bring all that to us. We're going to sit down and we're going to review all of it, and then take a trip into our sample selection room. Make some real rough selections that first meeting. What do we want this to look like? That'll give us a gauge as to what price point are we sitting at? Where are we landing in terms of finishes? From there, your designer is going to compile all that information and create a drawing for you. So in our second meeting, we would present you with a full color 3D rendered picture of what your space can look like, along with some rough pricing of this is where we're sitting with this design. From there, we kind of leave it up to you of, is this looking good? Is this something that we want to continue to pursue? And in that case, the third meeting is typically we come right out to your house. We come and we double check all those measurements. We make sure that we are working with the final sizes, and we've got this right tuned down to the quarter of an inch, and then we get into final review process and signing a contract and ordering from there, and then we start manufacturing your kitchen.
All right. I got to ask you this. I don't know if this is something that would be determined in the original process, but what happens if during the installation process, all of a sudden, something strange is located behind a wall? And I'm thinking maybe a pipe or some kind of an air conduit or whatever the case. What happens?
Great question. Yeah, there are definitely cases where we run into something like that. And sometimes we can make it work by kind of capping it on the inside of the cabinets. Sometimes we need some new cabinets to kind of fit in there. It is a bit of an unforeseen circumstance, right? So there's definitely different options, very case-by-case scenario of how we would handle those.
Now, let's talk about some of the pricing aspects of it, competitive pricing, of course. Is Laurysen Kitchens expensive?
I would say that we have such a wide variety and wide realm of products that we can really help navigate you through those and find something that fits within everyone's budget. Some of our materials are super, super high end, and some of them are just your basic everyday finishes that you would see at other prefab places. So it's definitely manageable to fit everyone's budget.
Let's review the Laurysen Edge once again, and what makes Laurysen such a preferred option.
I think it really is just the personalized service that you get, that you've got a designer dedicated to you that is going to help you through that design phase and make sure that what you're planning out is really going to work for your space, going to work for your family, going to work within your budget, right? Like we don't want to put anybody in dire straits for a cabinet. So we just make sure that it's really, really suited to the customer and personalized to them.
Perfect. Now, what about Laurysen's environmental best practices over the design and manufacture process? For example, reducing environmental footprints. I guess that's number one with you folks.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, during the design process, we try and do as much as we possibly can that's paperless. Then from there, we're sourcing as much material locally as we can. So we're looking to Ontario and Quebec. And then from there, in our manufacturing plant, we're using water-based finishes. So not only is that good for the environment, but it's actually better for our employees who are spraying those substances.
All right. Now, what about warranties and guarantees? What's covered?
I like to say, being a family business, I usually tell my clients, I'm like, if something's going on, just give us a shout and we're going to help you sort it out. There are certain preset warranties that come from our manufacturers that we pass along. Like all of our hinge and drawer slides all have a lifetime warranty directly from the manufacturer. So that's excellent that we can offer that sort of thing. And then we just have the discussion from there of how the different doors versus thermofoil and wood all have different warranties on them and what you can expect from your kitchen over the years.
Let's review again the importance of quality craftsmanship.
I would just say the importance of the quality craftsmanship is even more so in the Ottawa area because it is such a close-knit community. Being a family-owned business, we're constantly seeing people come through our front door saying they bought a kitchen from us 20 plus years ago and are still so pleased with the kitchen that they're actually just wanting to come back to update the look of their kitchen. It's still intact. It's still functioning beautifully. They're just looking to update it. So it's quite rewarding seeing those people come in and the returning customers.
The customer experience with LaurysenKitchens is certainly number one. And LaurysenKitchens is on the move this year. Certainly the showroom in Carp is going concern, always busy. But Kristen and Victoria, let's talk about your move coming up and how it's going to affect the Carp location. And you've got a Colonnade Road showroom as well. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so much excitement coming up this year. We will be moving our manufacturing. Once we're fully up and operational in Carleton Place, our showroom open there, manufacturing going strong, we'll be moving through in that direction. And then we'll be opening a design experience center on Colonnade Road that will showcase a bunch of beautiful designs, a whole experience center that you can come and enjoy and have a peek at. Once we get both of those locations up and running, we will be closing our Carp Road location, but please follow along to our social media. We will keep you updated on all of those and where's best to meet us and find us. We aren't going anywhere. We're just moving to 2 beautiful new locations.
And you can find out all the information you need on the website, LaurysenKitchens.com. Well, Kristen Weiss and Victoria Priest, designers with LaurysenKitchens, that pretty well takes care of the hour. Thanks for the conversation.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Best of luck going forward with LaurysenKitchens, of course, and your expansion plans as we get into the new year. Experts on call on News Talk 580 CFRA. Dave Watts here. News is next.
The preceding program has been a paid presentation on News Talk 580 CFRA.